Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Mess. So today we're going to continue the series at an Analog in Your Pocket. Are you just happy to see me? And today we're going to be talking about the Sega System 18 core that has just recently come over to Analogue Pocket. And we also have a new game as of last Friday, which is going to be Alien Storm. And honestly, it's one of my favorite games on the platform, so that's always a good thing to have. But we're going to go over what System 18 games work on Analogue Pocket today and what could be coming in the future. Before I get too far involved, though, do me a huge favor down below, hit like and subscribe, and ring that notification bell, definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined to want to support the channel, we got a Patreon link down below as well. But Alien Storm is just an absolutely amazing game. It's one of the best games on the System 18. Now, we still don't have stuff like Moonwalker or Laser Ghost, but I'm sure those will be coming soon. Right now, it is Shinobi and this game, and that is not a bad thing, because Alien Storm is a ton of fun. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up running gun game with some light gun style elements in it. But the best part about this game is just its overall sense of humor and charm. I love that these aliens are hiding in plants and trash cans. The creativity on screen here from Sega back in the day was just absolutely outstanding, and it's so great to get an Analogue Pocket implementation of the System 18 core as well. Now, do be aware this core is still in beta, and that means you need to be a Hotega beta member with the key to play them, and that also means that the core is not finished. I would say Alien Storm is probably a 9 out of 10 as far as performance is concerned. There are a few visual bugs, and I will show them to you in just a moment. But otherwise, again, I absolutely love this game. It's so fun and charming, and I love that we get these quasi-light gun segments. They just absolutely do it for me. I love the light gun genre. Now, if you take a look at the sprite in the middle on that parallax, those shelves right there, they are slightly misaligned, maybe like 4 to 5 pixels to the left. So there does seem to be a little bit of graphical corruption here, or a shifting in one of the layers, and I'm sure will get patched up in recent updates when they start coming out. But that's the thing about the beta cores, you do need to expect that there might be some small problems, but honestly, I played this game from start to finish. It was a ton of fun, and the only issues I could really find were that misalignment in that sprite layer in the middle of the parallax, and that's honestly not that big of a deal whatsoever. It is not going to get in your way of enjoying the game in any way, shape, or form. And it's awesome to get more Sega arcade cores as well, because Sega released a ton of arcade boards back in the day, and there's still a lot of stuff that could come to Analogue Pocket and FPGA in general in the future. But again, Alien Storm is just such a fun game. I love the colors, I love the art style that Sega chose. That vanishing point there with the city in the background looks so good. And this does utilize a little bit more hardware on the System 18 than some other games, because there was a mixture of hardware that could or didn't have to be utilized, and that is why you're seeing these games trickle out. And I also love that you get this running segment that almost plays like a horizontal shmup. This game really has almost 3 genres included in it: a running gun beat 'em up, a shmup, as well as a light gun game, all combined together, and that does such a great job with the pacing. It allows you to keep playing the game and feel like you haven't done the same thing too much, because if all you were doing was a pure beat 'em up, you might get slightly bored towards the end. But the developers and artists that made Alien Storm were smart to make sure that they really mixed that gameplay together. And if you take a look at this screen here, I can't see anything that makes me think this is anything other than the arcade board running correctly. Again, you'll see some of those glitches again in a moment. I will point them out to you. But when you're in the beat 'em up stages, when you're in the shmup stages, everything looks exactly like it should. The colors are accurate, and I will give you a sound sample in a bit so you can hear the quality. But you'll see here again, that middle layer where those speakers are, you can see the top layer of that double sprite is again misaligned. But that really is the only thing I could find. You'll see a little bit of weirdness on the background there in some of the neons, but otherwise this is like 95% buttoned up, and that is spectacular. And the best part is, of course, it is a 2-player game as well, and I definitely recommend bringing a friend along. That way on the light gun stages you can manage the left side of the screen and your friend can manage the right. But tell me down below if you played Alien Storm before in arcades or on home consoles, or if this is your first time going to be playing it on Analogue Pocket. I would be curious to hear what everyone's experience with it is. And there's other games that work on the System 18 core as well, which I'll show you in just a moment. But honestly, I wanted to lead with Alien Storm because it is one of my favorite games on the platform. And on the sound quality side, take a listen to this sample, tell me what you think after the sample is done of the quality, and I'll be right back. Sounds good to my ears, but leave me a comment down below and tell me what you think. And you're obviously going to get Shadow Dancer as well, which I always just call Shinobi. They're all Shinobis to me, even if I know the difference. And this, again, is another awesome System 18 game that you can play on Analogue Pocket today. Just make sure you've updated your Pocket recently, and you have that Hotega beta key on the root of your micro SD card. That way the updater can ingest it and put it everywhere it needs to go. And I can't wait to see what else comes out for System 18. I'm hoping the next game is Laser Ghost, but that's me personally. Tell me whether or not you'd want that or Moonwalker, because I know there's a ton of Moonwalker fans out there as well. But if you've never played Shadow Dancer before, if it's been a long time since you played, it's definitely time to check it out again. Just be prepared to die an absolute metric crap ton. This game is not easy whatsoever. And the third game currently running is Blockseed. It's basically a Tetris clone. It's not going to give you the most mileage for your money, but it's always fun to get another puzzle game on the platform. And honestly, when Hotega does a board, he puts all the games on there, including the ones that maybe you're not super interested in. And again, as we move back to Alien Storm here, this is just such a fun game. It's a classic Sega arcade experience, and it is running so well on the Analogue Pocket. This example right here is the best place that you can tell, though, of that misalignment on the sprite layer. That car is definitely chopped and split in half, and that's because it's not one sprite, it's actually two sprites because of the hardware, and they need to be properly aligned. So there's something in the code as far as the hardware is concerned that's just giving those a slight misalignment. But again, with Hotega and his team, I'm sure this will be updated in the next week or two, and that will be remedied. And again, that misalignment does not matter in the fun whatsoever. And just look at how big these sprites are, how colorful the graphics are, and just how well the enemies are designed. There's so much charm, so many unique sprites within Alien Storm. It really does play as good today as it ever did back in the day. Now, of course, this did get ported, but it's always fun to have the arcade original and to get all of these Sega boards. My hope, though, is that sometime we see Sega System 32, hopefully on the Pocket, if not Mr. FPGA. I'd be curious to see whether or not that would be able to run on the more limited FPGA on Analogue Pocket. But again, this shmup stage here, it just breaks up the action enough so that you constantly feel like you're doing something new and different. And that is what a good arcade game design is all about. And you will see there we have been collecting energy canisters, and if you have enough energy, you're able to bring that missile down from above and basically clear the screen. But the design on this one is fresh and unique, and it really is down to the fact that it's always constantly changing. But again, just look at this sprite here. It's got this giant maw, kind of looks almost like some sort of manta ray with all of these human faces stuck to it. It is absolutely horrifying, even if it is a more cheery color. And you'll see there that I was literally ripped into the alien's mouth and chewed on. There's so many little details in this game, and you want to stop and look at all of them, but of course you're being attacked the entire time, so stopping and looking would not be advisable. And I kind of wish that they had done something with this franchise where they made it completely a light gun game, because once Laser Ghost comes out, you're going to see very quickly how that resembles Alien Storm, at least in these stages. And Laser Ghost has some awesome sprite work as well. The System 18 board definitely looked pretty for its time and place, and I think it has held up extremely well graphically. Now, this game looks awesome on the Analogue Pocket screen, but obviously on a dock it's going to look just as good, and this might be a game that I think is actually better docked, just because on the light gun stages, having a bigger image in front of you is going to be more helpful. But that's the great thing about the Analogue Pocket. If you have the dock, you can play on your TV, and then when you want to just get up and walk away, you can 100% do that. And it's always awesome to get more cores. No one would ever complain about that. And as we fight what looks like a blobfish attached to some sort of walking millipede or centipede, however many legs he's got there, this game is just a 10 out of 10, and it's running at like a 9 out of 10 on Pocket. So definitely give it a shot. Tell me down below if you played it yet, what you think. Well, we are done. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week with more Analogue Pocket videos. Bye-bye.